electricity. So what I'm gonna end up doing right now is I'm gonna cut these bolts out, get this bumper off here. I know those are gonna be rusted in, they're just gonna spin. So I'm just gonna cut them out, get this bent ass bumper off, and then I want to get the core support off. I might take all this trim, I might end up taking off because we're gonna end up swapping the stuff from the extended cab to here. So or I'll just leave it for the time being so we don't lose any screws. I don't know. Yeah. Screw you, bolts. Careful, kids. Wear steel toe shoes. That actually hit me right here, so steel toe shoes really wouldn't have done anything for me. Okay, now we can get a better look at our shackles here. So, yeah, I think the bushings are okay for now. Da-da, da-da, So right now I'm going to remove the battery cables going to the other side. Just get them out of the way. Actually, that's what I usually do anyways. I'm going to go put these in the truck. Let's get some WD-40 going on these core support bolts here. I'll be able to knock those out. So they used this had a heat or a insulation thing, and they used cutoff discs to hold the thing up. It's like, really. I believe these are 10 mil. Yep, that's the 5/16. There, we're just gonna unbolt this from here, and that'll free us up on that corner. Do the same to the other side here. Just remove these corners here. You got two 5/16 here, two back there, and I think two right there. Oh yeah, we have a battery tray support over here, so we'll actually have to remove what feels like maybe 8 or 10 mil. Oh, these are 10 mil as well. So we need to remove these two. And then I think I'll get back to you on the size for that, but we'll come back to that here in a moment. With the bumper up, I can pull the thing here and then run the impact over here. So, okay, so we'll be back in just a few moments. Oh yeah, the hood latch will need to come off next. And I believe those are 10 mil as well. All right, so 18 millimeter on top, 15 millimeter on bottom, and we're working on that. right here, this mount here, core support mount, 15 on the bottom, 18 on the top. Now, some of you probably don't know, I've got an electric impact gun, which I haven't used in a while, so we'll see how it works. It's actually surprisingly lighter than the Harbor Freight impact gun I have, which is absolutely massive. So what is it, like every other video, sirens? Yeah, there. There we go. Well, tubes, I think that calls for a little break. I'm gonna get my charger and actually go charge my camera. Give the GoPro here a break. Wow. Look at that. Isn't this a familiar sight? We've done this, I've done it this way for my truck. Adam's extendable, or the extended cab, and then now this one. You don't really have to do it this way, but I want to get in here and I want to pressure wash all of it, and I want to make this thing look I want it to make it look new under there. And the battery trays I'm going to clean up and repaint. I have a feeling we're going to take the inner fender well from the extended cab and use it on this one. This one's all messed up. So yeah, and I think all the rotten insulation is just going to have to go. That's just gross. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a break. And then in a little bit, I'm going to work on getting the engine pretty much disconnected and everything off of it. Alright, as far as fuel lines and whatnot go. And here in a bit, we'll figure out how to chain it up without breaking anything, and then pull this old beast out of here. Alright, so I'm kind of back in action for today, working on this thing. Just kind of letting the weather calm down a tiny bit. We'll see how violent it comes back here in 10 minutes. This is where I'm at. Right now I'm kind of thinking about how I'm going to get this thing undone. Okay, before I go any further, I know I've probably eliminated about 200 pounds worth of weight up here. But we'll just get a general idea of the engine setting with no core support. Current ride height is about 37 and a half, close-ish. That's with the 6.9 in there. So far I've gotten the starter out. Look at this big honker. Got the starter out. Yeah, I know. I tried undoing these bolts and they just started twisting. So I'm like, nope, just stop in there. So anyways, left that pipe is cut. The only thing might be an issue is the crazy white pipe shenanigans going on. But I think I can muscle this thing out of here. So the bell housing is unbolted from the transmission. And then what else? I gotta disconnect the clutch stuff and starters out of there. I've just loosened up the engine mounts. I'm about to do that, but first I need to go get my transmission jack and set it underneath the T19 that's behind this thing. And I think I might be able to yank this thing out. I have got the chains. I got 2 chains here. They go right underneath the intake manifold. They're wrapping around its little antler that it sucks air into. I do want to get I had to use a little wrench to push it through. Gotta love those long wrenches. So hopefully, now, as you guys know, I like to experiment. This is going to be an experiment, and it is very dangerous. Look at this engine is kind of like junk, so we're gonna see what happens when we do it this way. I'm hoping that nothing bad happens and it lifts it out and whatnot. I have a jack supporting the transmission, so if it decides to drop, there's something there to catch it. Meanwhile, I think we should be good to go. I tried doing maybe using a bolt to go through the chain and use a big washer, but they're just not long enough, and I don't want to risk damaging the head. I'd rather damage this intake, plenum and whatever. Here it goes. Put it on jack stands, and when I do that, it should lower it just enough for the oil pan to clear the crossmember, and I can drag this thing on. I've been using a come along to get it forward. I got it off the transmission, I just can't get it up higher over the crossmember. Brakes look good. Gee, that helped quite a bit. I might actually extend the boom a tiny bit so it runs against the finger. The oil filter is right in my way, and I can't get it with my bare hands, and I have no straps to get it off with. So I'm going to stab a big old screwdriver and I'm going to rip that thing out of there. So I'm draining the oil out of it right now. I've only ran it maybe 10 minutes with the fresh oil, and it's charcoal black, so I don't think this thing was taken care of very well. But then again, it's different than the Cummins. The Cummins, when we change the oil out, at least on the 4 cylinders, it takes at least a good couple weeks before any soot starts showing up in it. So I'm gonna drain the oil on this, and then I'm gonna stab this into the oil filter. I might even I'm gonna try and find my long flathead, just jab that in there and just wrench that thing off there. I stabbed that stupid oil filter like 10 times. Finally got it up with the long screwdriver. And now what's the engine doing? Coming out. I win. That would come along, was so worth it. It was like 30 bucks. I think after the 4BT goes in, this engine hoist is gonna need some casters. My Harbor Freight hoist is pretty much at this point going, help me! Alright, let's take a look, huh? You wanna see? I know you wanna see. Look at this. I bet you this clutch is all shot to hell on this thing. Something was making some noise. Oh yeah, shift, that looks a little worn out. How about the pivot in there? That's not too bad. That's a big block bell housing right there. Look at all the garbage. And the turbo, they didn't even have a clamp on this. Looks like our perches will go right on here. We're gonna have to drill a hole here and a hole, I think exactly right there. So we'll have 2 holes that we'll need to drill for the i6 perches. I wish I had a scale I could figure out how much this thing weighs. The e-brake was even still on. Wow, love that 4BT, man. Okay, well, what I'm gonna do right now is get this thing lowered down a little bit so it's a little bit safer, not swinging around 1,100 pounds. And then I'm going to spray the ground. I got a lot of coolant around here. I need to clean it up and cap that little bastard off. Make a mess, you gotta clean it up. Alright, well, we took on a 1,100 pound engine. I'm pretty sure it's how much it weighed because this engine lift, man, is just about done. So tomorrow would be getting the engine purchase out. I'm going to get the rest of this stuff out, and then what I'm going to do is then pressure wash it, and then I'm gonna pressure wash it with the steering box in, and then we're gonna take the steering box and the steering shaft out because we're gonna rebuild the steering box and steering shaft. One of the viewers has donated a rebuild kit for that steering box, and I'm gonna try to rebuild it. And if I fail, then we can either get a new one or use the one that's in the extendable, which is now going to be a donor truck to this thing, and then the extendable will be a parts truck. So after we take our stuff, if you guys need something, like if you need a Ford 9-inch that's been done up, you know, a mild rebuild, like, you know, just, you know, new brakes and fresh oil and a coat of paint, that kind of rebuild, you know, let us know. And we'd like to do local if possible. And we're here in Portland, Oregon, so I'll put links in the Ford Cummins fan page thing that you can contact me. If you find me on Facebook, add me and we'll chat. So anyways, tomorrow in the next video, I'll get those perches out, pressure wash this thing, along with all this other crap we're going to get out of here. Get the clutch stuff is going to go because we have new. And then Bob's your uncle. So I mean, we're gonna pressure wash the hood and all around here. I'm gonna tape off the. I'll probably put the blower motor back in the thing there, and we'll just pressure wash everything. I really don't care about that fender well. We're gonna replace it, but I'll pressure wash it anyways. Because I want to make this truck look like it's back to being like, you know, new. So, the one thing before we go, a little brain fart, as you know I have many. You see this exhaust pipe here? I think if we cut our downpipe for the Cummins just right, we might actually be able to make that work. You know, if not, a piece of flex pipe. But I think that'll make our 3-inch exhaust work just pretty flawlessly, so I'm pretty happy about that. You'll probably, I think I have a 3-inch clamp around here somewhere. I'll probably throw that on and make that clamp better. But so then this thing will have a full 3-inch exhaust, and I'm gonna get a big exhaust tip for this thing. A 3-inch inlet, and it's a 5-inch tip, black. So, well, it's getting dark. I'm gonna wash up the rest. I spilled a whole bunch of oil and coolant. I'm gonna get the soap mixed up with all that and dilute it, and so the animals don't get harmed. So I'll clean this up, and then hopefully Adam shows up because I need help.